Hello everybody, shalom. Just setting up here before the sun goes down. So I didn't expect to do the third quarter moon reading today. I was going to do it tomorrow, but something just pulled me in right now as the sun is going down. So I just flew right out of the house and into this little trailer where I do the readings in my driveway here. So I could have a quiet space to tune into the space of my heart and meet you all in that place of no time and no space in your heart. Yep, that's where we connect. So we went through the full moon experience last week, and during the full moon everything is revealed. The full moon illuminates the full picture, whatever that means for you. And the individual is a reflection of the whole, from the microcosm to the macrocosm. So although this is a collective reading for the collective consciousness, it's also for the individual. So what did you experience on the full moon last week? Who were the people around you? What were the reflections? What were the messages? What was the vision? What was the picture? What did you learn? What did you see was the masterpiece, the puzzle that was finally finished by the time of the full moon? Whatever information came to you, whatever information came to us under the light of the full moon has been wanting to be integrated since then. So this past week has been about that, integration. So this reading is to seal up that chapter with thanks, to let go, and to create a space for the new moon to come next. We're in the in-between right now. So archetypes, thank you in advance. Faces of the One. We are gathering right now to open our channels into the most powerful channel to receive the wisdom that we are wanting and needing to receive right now. So whatever you're holding on to in your mind, in your body, whatever it is, let it go. Thoughts that are just reoccurring, just let them go for a moment at least. Ask them to take a seat and connect to that space in your heart, that space outside of time that is infinite. And there I'll be. And there we will all be together right now. And thanks. So thank you, archetypes, for showing us what this last cycle was about, what we just finished integrating, and what is ready to be let go of to create that space for the new cycle, the new moon that is to come. What is the challenge that we're going to face in the next week? In what ways can we prepare? All right, and then however you want, connect to the deck. So send a thread of light, from your mind's eye. You can just blink and know that you're connected to the deck. Whatever dimension you want to access this deck from, go for it now. Connect to the deck. Okay. Okay. I pulled 4 cards. Card of the present, where we're at in letting go, sealing up the last cycle. The bridge to get to the future, which is the challenge that we're about to step into, which alchemizes into a gift as we ace the lesson that it comes with each time, because this lesson is going to come at us from every angle. So that's this card. Then we have the card that wants to be embodied right now, the archetype that is most helpful to embody right now to prepare for the future. And the last card is a little hint of the future, the next cycle, the new moon on its way. Wow. So if you watched the last reading, you'll remember this card. The reading from the full moon. There's the moon in the sky there, very prevalent. So the Eight of Cups. Cups is the suit of water. It's the suit of the heart and emotions. This was the card where we left off, actually. So we're picking up right where we left off. Pretty magical. This is the card of really pausing and asking ourselves, is whatever we are giving our blood, sweat, and tears to, our emotional investments, relationships, projects, is it worth it? And if it is, it's time to dig our heels in and get to work once and for all, giving all of ourselves. Or in that moment, do we realize that it's best to turn around and seek that fulfillment elsewhere? Stop giving away our energies to the void, a black hole. So that's where we left off, and that's where we are at now. We should have a clear decision as to where we're headed. We should feel like we now are at a point where we have that clarity we asked for at the beginning of last cycle, that we know what to do. This card is in our face kind of saying, I feel it saying, did you make the right decision? It's time. The time is now. This was the future in the last reading, and now here we are. The future. It's already the past. We're already creating the next future. So did you make a decision? Because if you didn't, right now, do this before the new moon. Decide what you're digging into. It could be the same project you've been digging into, but in a whole new way, with all of you just giving your whole self. Or it could be something entirely new. But the clock is ticking. There's only a few more minutes left, you guys. I'm just kidding. Okay, so that was the Eight of Cups. Now we're moving on to the future. The bridge to get there, the challenge and the gift, is the Knight of Swords. So knights are fire and swords are air. It's the fire of air. And it's taking action upon a truth. Taking action upon our truth. It could be a truth of a collective. It could be like an ideal that you're defending. It could be very personal. But again, this reading is for the collective as well as the individual. It applies in every dimension. So the Knight of Swords, the challenges we're going to be receiving right now, are going to look like opportunities for us to speak our truth, no matter what is in the way, to take action upon our truth, to not forget everything that we just went through this whole cycle. Swords were very big in the last reading. If you didn't see it, I definitely recommend checking it out. Maybe even pausing this and then picking up here. But it's absolutely time to run with our truth. There is no time left. The bridge has burned behind us, and this is what we must do. So knowing that the challenge turns into a gift when we ace that lesson gives us the confidence and the hope as we move ahead to meet these challenges that are so closely on their way. We have to speak our truth no matter what. We have to decide what we want to dig into. We have to decide what project we're going to be committed to right now. And once we make that decision, go full force. Act on your truth. Make sure what you choose is true. Because then you're going to have to act and you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is. So make sure your choice is your truth. It's your authenticity. And so that sword of truth and that horse, right? With all of our armor, our innocence as our armor, our protection, we will ride forward into the future. And the future looks like a major arcana card. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is not always as scary as it seems. It's actually usually never scary. I don't really do scary interpretations. I mean, that's my perception. I don't really see life as scary, so I guess that's why you don't hear me speaking that way. So never be scared, okay? Even with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is simply seeing from a different perspective. Seeing from a whole new perspective. And it's like his legs are in a 4 upside down. 4 is completion. This is seeing the other side of that. The whole opposite side of whatever is, because everything has its equal and opposite in life. So when we're upside down, we can see the world from a different perspective. That's why he's illuminated around his head. So we're stepping into a future of seeing things from a whole new perspective, a fresh perspective, illumination, expansion, through seeing things differently in a big way, because this is a major arcana that we're talking about that's coming up in the future, the next cycle. So we can prepare by seeing that, envisioning what that might feel like for us to feel expansive and free and open up our minds to things that maybe we didn't consider before or we just weren't willing to look at. And the card that wants to be embodied right now, from now until the new moon, to best prepare for what is to come, is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, super powerful. We have the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Swords that were right in the middle of the two, the beginning card and the end card. So we have swords right in the middle, truth. So the Ace of Swords is, aces are initiations. Aces are the raw power of the element that is pulled. So this is a sword, so it's air, it's truth. Okay, so this is an initiation in truth, on the path of truth. This is an initiation of the voice of truth. This is an initiation of the ability to embody and actualize truth. So right now what I'm seeing is that we really would do our best if we right now put this archetype as a priority in our mind's eye and in our hearts. See yourself as the Ace of Swords. Know that you have right now and always, but especially in this moment is wanting to be acknowledged, you have the ability to connect to the raw power of the air element. Allow the winds of change to help you. Allow the air element to help you. You are also the magician, another card of the deck. You want to be the best magician, you have to learn to play with the elements. You have to use how to learn the only tools that are eternally reliable, which are the elements. They are what makes us up. They are inside and out. And so we don't really need anything to do that magic. So considering that, the element of air, how can you use it right now to speak your truth, to be inspired to speak your truth, to feel the power that backs you up always, always for eternity? So right now, this is the one, this is the card to remember, this is the card to embody from today until the new moon. This is how to best prepare, best pave the way for the future, seeing things from a whole new perspective. Just hang on to your truth and go full force. Now put that from the beginning to the end. We're making the decision of either digging into a project we've been maybe not giving our all, or we're moving on to a new one. So we're making right now the decision, before this new cycle, you guys, we're all going to make the decision to commit all of our energies to one project. And it's it's cups, which is trophies of the heart. So what trophy are you after, and is it worth it? And can you give yourself, your whole self to that right now? Or is it time to move on to the thing that you know you can give your whole self to? But we have to decide now. So we decide. And our challenge that's going to come up until the new moon is going to be this Knight of Swords, acting on our truth. Okay, cool, so you made a decision. Let me see what you got. Let's see if you're really going to do that. Put your money where your mouth is. Act. Build the new. Okay, you're leaving that behind? Let's see how good you can really cut it off, let it go. Peacefully. Gracefully. Authentically. For real. And as we move through this challenge of authentically taking those steps to either give ourselves to this situation or give ourselves to that, wherever we're at, giving ourselves in truth to the situation we know deserves our all, our whole heart. When we do that, we must remember that this is our ally. We have all the power we need. The infinite power of the universe backs up your word of truth, because your word of truth is resonant with original truth. When we behave in a virtuous way, that virtuous light that we embody and reflect is the light of the divine. It's the light of the original one emanation. So when we speak in truth, we connect to those original vibrations. Of course, we have the raw power of all of the elements, and right now it's air. As we go through these times of change and can't look back because everything's on fire. Everything's burning away. And it's all so good. So we can move on to a future of seeing things in a whole new way. And why do I say that's good? For some people, that's really scary. Change is very scary for some, and I know I'm overly enthusiastic about it, maybe. But why is it good? Why do I see it as good? In a very logical way, because what's to follow the Hanged Man? When we see from a new perspective, we expand. We gain more wisdom, more vision to share, to connect, to open up our mind's eye. And from there, when we see new things and we conceptualize new things, we birth new things, we manifest new things. And so it could be as positive or negative as you perceive it to be. But I'm really excited about my reality. And I'm excited about our reality together. And I know the positive potential that can come from embodying this archetypal energy, or from expecting it. It's a positive thing. Together, we can see this as the future of expansion. We can see this as a sign that we're on our way to expanding, and a whole veil, maybe multiple veils being lifted, so that we can see more and be more and create more. Okay, so that was a lot for the third quarter moon, and I'm really excited to focus on the words that popped out during this reading, like commitment, truth, full energy, full force, connecting, tapping into infinite power, wind, air, element, change, new, expansion. I'm excited to be here in this time and space with you all as we figure it out together and go through the journey of this next week, preparing for the next cycle as best we know how. Again, with the help of each other and with remembering that the sword of truth will guide the way. All right, y'all, it's getting dark in here, so I just want to say thank you for tuning in. And if you're not subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, you just go to youtube.com/RebeccaMagic, hit subscribe, and you will get notified when I post other videos as well. Don't forget that Ace of Swords, all right, y'all? I'll see you on the new moon, and happy solstice to those who are experiencing the heat of the summer solstice right now. Blessings.